In this video, we're breaking down 10 Japanese motorcycles that outperform Harley-Davidson, celebrating their engineering excellence while acknowledging what makes them better alternatives. From custom choppers to touring machines, get ready to meet the bikes that deliver the iconic experience without emptying your wallet or leaving you stranded. Honda Fury. Starting our countdown at number 10 is the Honda Fury. Most folks do a double take when they first see a Honda Fury. It doesn't look like something that rolled off a Honda assembly line. With that stretched 71-inch wheelbase and raked out front end, it looks like a custom chopper, not a production Honda. The 1312cc V-twin has that nice big twin rumble, but without the constant oil spots on the garage floor. Many riders who've owned custom choppers will confirm they often look cool, but can be a nightmare to live with. The Fury isn't. Honda pulled off a neat trick with this bike. It looks like a hardtail chopper, but it actually has a hidden rear suspension, giving riders 3.7 inches of travel. Anyone's back will thank them after a full day of riding. The seat sits only 26.7 inches off the ground, so almost anybody can plant their feet at stoplights. Honda went with a shaft drive instead of a chain, which means owners can actually ride the thing instead of constantly adjusting and lubricating a chain. After years of chain maintenance on custom bikes, this feature alone is enough to convince many riders. At $11,499, buyers get the chopper look without the chopper headaches. Plus, it comes with a warranty they can actually count on. Some Fury owners have put 40,000 plus miles on theirs with nothing but oil changes and tires. Try that with a custom chopper. Kawasaki Vulcan S. Let's talk about number 9 on our list, the Kawasaki Vulcan S. The Vulcan S doesn't look like a traditional cruiser, and that's why many riders love it. It's one of the few bikes that actually fits a wide range of body types properly right from the dealer floor. The ErgoFit system sells most buyers. When shopping, dealers measure customers and then move the seat, handlebars, and foot pegs to fit them perfectly. A 6'2" rider and a 5'4" rider can both end up with bikes that feel custom fitted. After decades of riders trying to adapt their bodies to fit motorcycles, this is a game changer. The 649cc engine comes from Kawasaki sport bikes, and riders can feel it. Sportster owners often can't keep up in the twisties. At 474 pounds wet, it feels like a lightweight compared to most cruisers. The first time someone takes it through mountain switchbacks, they can't stop grinning. At $7,349, it's thousands less than a Sportster. After several years, many Harleys have been in the shop multiple times, while Vulcan S owners often report nothing but routine maintenance. The value proposition is real. Suzuki Boulevard M109R. Now we're talking serious business with number 8, the Suzuki Boulevard M109R. If the Vulcan S is the friendly neighbor, this is the bodybuilder down the street that everybody's a little afraid of. The first twist of the throttle on the 1783cc V-twin can nearly leave a rider's arms behind. This thing pulls like a freight train. It's surprising that more than a few sport bike riders are at stoplights. Those massive pistons generate torque that riders feel deep in their chest. The rear tire is a monster at 240mm wide. It looks like something off a car, not a motorcycle. When parked at a bike night, this detail alone draws people over. The deep black paint against the chrome bits looks custom level good. Here's the shocking part, this beast can actually handle corners. Suzuki borrowed the inverted forks and radial brakes from the GSX-R sport bikes. When hustled through turns, it's hard to believe something this big can change direction so well. At $15,799, it's not cheap, but comparable Harleys with this kind of performance will run thousands more. Plus, Japanese reliability means owners spend more time riding and less time waiting for parts. Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Moving to number 7, let's check out the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. This little ripper takes direct aim at Harley's Sportster lineup, and it delivers some solid punches. The 942cc air-cooled V-twin has that old-school feel, but with modern engineering. It pulls hard from the low RPMs, exactly where riders want power in a cruiser. Many who test ride one after riding an Iron 883 report the Bolt feels noticeably stronger. The R-Spec version gets those gold remote reservoir shocks in the back. They're not just for show. Anyone who's ridden both the standard Bolt and the R-Spec back-to-back can feel the difference in ride quality, especially on rough pavement. Yamaha made this bike remarkably easy to customize. Some owners have added about $1,200 in accessories that make the bike look like they spent $5,000. The factory parts bolt right on, no fabrication needed. For $10,999, buyers get Japanese reliability with classic American styling cues. After several years and many thousands of miles, most Bolt owners report zero mechanical issues. Compare that to the shop time many Sportsters rack up. Suzuki Boulevard C50. At number 6, we have the Suzuki Boulevard C50. For riders looking for that classic cruiser vibe without the classic cruiser problems, the Boulevard C50 delivers. This bike channels old-school cruiser DNA through Japanese engineering. The 805cc V-twin won't win any drag races, but that's not the point. It's smooth, predictable, and perfectly powered for relaxed cruising. Owners regularly take them on 500-mile weekend trips without once wishing for more power. The real magic is in the shaft drive. After years of adjusting chains on other bikes, this feature alone sells many riders. No more getting hands dirty every few hundred miles or worrying about chain lube on longer trips. Just ride and enjoy. The laid-back seating position with the 27.6-inch seat height and pulled-back bars puts riders in a natural posture that doesn't fatigue the back on longer rides. The suspension soaks up road imperfections that would rattle teeth on some other cruisers. Many choose the C50T with the windshield and bags for weekend getaways. Everything comes from the factory, is perfectly color matched, and is backed by warranty. For $9,299, riders get a bike that would cost at least $15,000 with a Harley badge. After 20,000 plus miles, many owners report spending exactly $0 on anything but routine maintenance. That's not always the case with American cruisers. Honda Rebel 1100. We're halfway through our countdown with number 5, the Honda Rebel 1100. The Rebel 1100 is what happens when Honda decides to completely rethink what a cruiser can be. It's not trying to be a Harley clone, and that's exactly why it's so good. Honda took the 1083cc parallel twin from the African Twin adventure bike and returned it for cruiser duty. The result is a power plant that pulls hard throughout the rev range, but doesn't vibrate fillings loose. The 270-degree crankshaft gives it a unique character that's both smooth and muscular. What sets this bike apart is the technology. The 3 riding modes transform the bike's personality at the push of a button. Rain mode works great in wet conditions, standard for everyday riding, and sport when riders want to get aggressive. No other cruiser at this price point offers this level of adaptability. At 487 pounds ready to ride, it's a featherweight by cruiser standards. The first time through some twisties, most riders can't believe they're on a cruiser. It handles more like a standard motorcycle, with precise steering and good ground clearance. For $9,599, buyers get cutting-edge technology that Harley doesn't offer at any price. The value proposition is undeniable. Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. Rolling into the number 4 spot is the Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. The Vulcan 900 Custom is perfect for riders who want that custom look without the custom headaches. Those who've owned both custom bikes and production cruisers say this one strikes a perfect balance. The 21-inch front wheel and stretch front end give it that chopper-inspired stance that turns heads on bike nights. People are often surprised to learn it's a stock production bike, not something custom built. The 903cc V-twin hits that sweet spot of having enough power to be fun without being intimidating. It pulls strongly from low RPMs, which is where cruiser riding happens anyway. The belt drive delivers power smoothly and requires virtually no maintenance. Most riders are surprised by how approachable this bike is despite its custom looks. The low center of gravity makes slow-speed maneuvering much easier than expected. The 5.3-gallon tank gives genuine touring range, which is appreciated on longer rides. At $9,899, it's thousands less than similar-looking American cruisers. Many owners report 30,000 plus miles with zero mechanical issues, just routine service and tires. That peace of mind is worth its weight in gold. Honda Shadow Phantom. Coming in at number 3 is a bike that proves sometimes less really is more, the Honda Shadow Phantom. The 745cc V-twin won't set any speed records, but it's the perfect power plant for real-world riding. It's smooth, responsive, and has just enough torque to be fun without being intimidating. At 543 pounds wet, it's substantially lighter than most American cruisers, which riders feel immediately in how it handles. This bike's accessibility is a major selling point. The 25.6-inch seat height means most riders can flat-foot it at stops, even shorter ones. The revised handlebar position on the new model puts everything right where it should be. After an 8-hour day in the saddle, riders report still feeling comfortable. Honda upgraded to disc brakes front and rear, which is a welcome improvement. The optional ABS has saved many riders in sudden rain showers. Like most Japanese cruisers on this list, it uses a shaft drive instead of a chain. After years of chain maintenance on other bikes, this feature keeps many owners loyal to the Shadow. At $8,399 or $8,799 with ABS, it's thousands less than comparable American cruisers. After 40,000 plus miles, many owners report spending exactly $0 on unexpected repairs, just scheduled maintenance. That reliability factor becomes more valuable with each passing year. Yamaha VMAX. Our runner-up at number 2 is the legendary Yamaha VMAX, a bike that's been terrifying other motorcycles since the 1980s. The heart of this beast is a 1,679cc V4, putting out 197 horsepower. Let that sink in. That's supercar territory from a cruiser. The first roll of the throttle from a stock can actually scare riders a little. It accelerates with violence that has to be experienced to be believed. The quarter mile comes up in 10.86 seconds, quicker than many dedicated sport bikes. Unlike the original VMAX, which was basically a straight-line missile, the 2009 to 2016 version can actually handle it. Yamaha gave it proper suspension with fully adjustable 52mm forks that would look at home on a race bike. The aluminum frame and swing arm provide the stability that the original could only dream of. To rein in all that power, Yamaha installed Brembo brakes with 6-piston calipers up front. Riders need them the first time they realize just how quickly this thing builds speed. At around $18,000 when new, the VMAX wasn't cheap, but no American cruiser at any price could touch its performance. It remains the ultimate expression of what happens when engineers ignore conventions and just build the baddest cruiser possible. Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Our number 1 Japanese motorcycle that outperforms Harley-Davidson is the Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. After decades of riding and dozens of bikes, the Vulcan 1700 Vaquero has become a go-to for serious touring enthusiasts. It simply offers the best combination of comfort, performance, and value on the market. The 1700cc V-twin delivers mountain-moving torque that makes 2-up riding with full luggage feel effortless. The 6-speed transmission with overdrive lets the engine relax on the highway, which translates to all-day comfort and surprisingly good fuel economy for such a big bike. What sets the Vaquero apart is the frame-mounted fairing. After years of dealing with handlebar-mounted windshields that create buffeting at highway speeds, this fixed fairing is a revelation for many touring riders. It cuts through the air cleanly and keeps the chassis stable even in crosswinds. The touring amenities make long rides a pleasure. The sealed saddlebags keep gear dry even in downpours. The built-in audio system lets riders enjoy music or get weather updates through the satellite radio option. On 3,000-mile trips, these features make all the difference. The braking system with standard ABS provides confidence in all conditions, something that becomes more appreciated as riders gain experience and wisdom about safety. At $19,499, the Vaquero costs significantly less than comparable Harley touring bikes that easily run $25,000 or more. Many owners report 50,000 plus miles with nothing but scheduled maintenance. That reliability factor is priceless when 500 miles from home. Harleys are great bikes. Many riders have owned several over the years and enjoyed them. But these Japanese alternatives deliver equal or better performance, improved reliability, and substantial cost savings that can't be ignored. Whether looking for raw power, touring comfort, classic style, or cutting-edge technology, there's a Japanese cruiser that can meet those needs without emptying the bank account. Experienced riders who've tried them all often change their perspective on what makes a great cruiser. Which of these Japanese alternatives catches your eye? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. If you find this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more real-world motorcycle reviews.